On moonless nights, villagers swore they could hear them, whispers in the wind, footsteps that vanished into nothing, the eerie sound of laughter that didn't belong to any living man. Some said the Mailoni brothers weren't human anymore, that they had become something else, something monstrous. And for years, no one could prove them wrong. The terror began in 2007, deep in Luano Valley, a remote and wild expanse of Zambia. The three brothers, Mika, Stephano, and Fabian, aka Tanda, once ordinary men, became the valley's greatest nightmare. Their names became legend, spoken only in hushed voices, for fear that even mentioning them might summon their wrath. At first, the murders seemed random. But soon, it became clear that the brothers were not just killing, they were ruling through fear. Armed with spears and catapults, they moved like ghosts through the valley, striking without warning, leaving behind only corpses and unanswered questions. No one ever saw them coming. No one ever survived to tell their tale. One of their first victims was Mr. Mwelwa, a brave man who had dared to stand against them. His death marked the beginning of a long, bloody trail. Over the years, their list of victims grew: Watson Kashenga, Matthews Muzonda, Moses Masamba, and many others. People whispered that the brothers had been cursed by a witch doctor, their minds warped by dark spirits. Others claimed they had made a pact with the forest itself, allowing them to vanish into the trees like wild animals. Some villagers even believed that the brothers could change their shape, their bodies twisting into unnatural forms under the cover of darkness. The fear was so deep that entire villages emptied overnight, families abandoning their homes rather than risk being the next target. Those who stayed locked their doors at sunset, knowing that if the Mailoni brothers chose them, no prayer, no weapon, and no wall would keep them safe. Despite countless manhunts, the brothers remained untouchable. Police patrols combed the valley, but every time they closed in, the brothers vanished. Their ability to disappear fueled rumors of supernatural protection, that bullets could not touch them, that they walked with spirits at their side. Survivors spoke of unnatural encounters, whispers in the dark, unseen eyes watching from the trees, footprints that led to nowhere. Some claimed that if you listened closely at night, you could hear faint voices calling your name, only to find no one there. The villagers lived in terror, their lives dictated by an invisible force of death. No one knew who would be next. By 2013, the people of Luano Valley could take no more. A desperate group of villagers, risking everything, led the Zambian Army to the brothers' secret hideout near the Luano River, an area infested with crocodiles and surrounded by dense forest. The soldiers surrounded the camp, cutting off every possible escape. But the Mailoni brothers did not surrender. They fought. What happened next only deepened their legend. Some soldiers swore that as the brothers rushed toward them, their bodies twisted, their eyes burning with an unearthly fire. For a brief moment, they were no longer men, but something else. Gunfire erupted. One by one, the brothers fell. Tanda, the last one standing, tried to run. He was bleeding, broken, but before he collapsed, he let out a final scream, his voice echoing through the valley. Mwatishitisha. Meaning, you have sold us out. Then, silence. When the bodies of the Mailoni brothers were recovered, the terror should have ended. But fear doesn't die so easily. Some say the valley is still haunted, that their spirits still roam the wilderness, hungry for vengeance. Others claim that when the wind is right, you can still hear their voices calling from the trees. Their mother, Janet, believed they had been possessed by dark forces, led down a path of no return. Whether it was madness, evil, or something beyond human understanding, one thing remains certain. The Mailoni brothers are gone, but their legend will never die.